Okay, so now it is recording. Link to the presentation, as always, up on the slide, bit.ly/appyhourgdocs. Sign in at the bit.ly link and use Appy Hour Google Docs for your sign in. And then we have a small group in here today, but I wanted to demonstrate a couple things with this Google Doc. So it's in the Schoology folder. You can either click the link, I think I called it While You Wait or something like that, or you can use bit.ly/Appy Hour Doc as the link to take you there. And I'll just pull it up quickly here. And what I wanted you to do is it's on the bottom of the first page in this little before we start table, and just use that and put your name in there, something that you already know about using Google Docs, something that you want to know, and then we are going to come back and fill out the learned part at the end. But I want to do something with the table as part of what we're going to be doing. Put you on the spot. Okay. Awesome. So we've got that in there. So this document, instead of adding all of the links in Schoology, pretty much all of the resource how-to links that I would normally put in the Schoology group, I put in this document just as kind of a way to demonstrate how you could use Google Docs for something like that, and with links and everything. So let's see here. I'm going to have to use this to remember exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, so first off, I wanted to do adding images, and most people usually know how to add images, but I just wanted to point out a couple of quick tricks that people usually overlook. So you can either make a copy of the document that I just sent you to by going up to File and then make a copy, or you can start your own brand new Google Doc. And so to insert an image, if you go up to Insert and then Image, and you can also just copy and paste from other programs too, that will work. But you can actually drag and drop. So if you had something on your desktop, or if you just downloaded the image in Chrome. So for example, I'll just do a quick search for West Claremont. Images. And so let's say I'm going to download this image. Then when I go to insert image, because Chrome always puts your downloads in that download bar right there, you can actually just drag and drop and it will upload it. And that would work. And that's just a really quick way from, if you're searching for it and you download it, and then you do it if it's in that downloads bar, it's really quick. It would also work from your desktop or your file folder if you just drag and drop it right over. So that's a quick way to do it. Something else for inserting images that people often overlook, Google Drive, when you go to insert image, then if you go over, well, first, I guess this might be helpful. This take a snapshot would then use the webcam. So students, if they did something on paper and created something, then if you wanted them to hold it up in front of the webcam, they could actually take a picture of that paper, or that, if it was an art teacher or they actually made a physical product, they can actually take a picture of it with using the webcam with the take a snapshot tab. And then if we keep moving, this Google Drive tab. So, sorry, let me close that. So the Google Drive tab. What I do is I have actually created because I have Drive downloaded on my laptop. So it works just as the same as any other file folder, like just like my desktop or my documents folder, the same as that. It's my Google Drive. And I've created a folder in there just for pictures, for websites and things that I know I'm going to use frequently. So, because a lot of times, I'll work on any given presentation over a few days, whenever I have 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to work on it, I'll work on it. I don't get it all done at the same time. So sometimes I'm out looking for pictures that I need, whether it's a presentation or the document, whatever it is. And I actually have a folder in my Drive called Pictures, and I just save everything straight to that Drive folder. So this makes it really easy to get, and because then it doesn't matter what device you're on, you can get to it from anywhere. And then this handy little tab, once you click on Drive, then if you click this Recent tab, it'll show you all of the most recent pictures saved there, and that's just a super fast way to get to those pictures. And then the last thing with inserting an image, if you just hit that back arrow next to my Drive, it'll take us back to these options, is the Search tab. And you can actually do a Google search for an image straight from, you don't even have to leave your Google Doc or your Google presentation. It works the same way in Slides. So you can actually do a Google search right here and then insert the image. So let's say we are looking for, sorry, it's kind of delayed on my view, so I can't even see if I'm spelling this right. Okay, so we're looking for an image of Gettysburg. Okay, great, this is good. So you just click it on it so it gets the blue box run, and then you hit select. So I didn't even have to leave my doc to do that Google search. So those are just some handy things with inserting images that most people don't know. So the next thing, according to our little KWL chart here, a collaborative KWL, you said that you already know how to add additional fonts. Since it's quick and easy and I'm recording, I just want to show it so that it can get recorded. Okay. Okay. So to add additional fonts, and you can do this from a document, from forms, from slides, from sheets, whatever Google program you're in, you can do this. And then you'll be able to access it. Like if you added it in Docs and then you wanted that font in Slides, it would be in both places once you add it. But to do it, you just go up into your toolbar and where font is, you just click that drop down, and the very bottom option is going to be more fonts. So when that opens, then you can, let's say that, oh, I hate Oswald. I never use it. I don't even want it to be an option. If I just click it, so then there's no longer a check mark, it'll be removed from my options. I can always go back and get it later. But then if you want to add a new font, you just go through and click it so that there's a check mark. And you can scroll through. There's tons and tons and tons that aren't in the original drop down that you can go through and add. So, and then you just hit OK when you're finished. And now whatever font you added will be in the drop down box for you now. So I added Oswald, and there it is. So super easy. The next thing we're gonna look at adding fonts, headers and tables. Okay, so this is what I use all of the time. If you using headers and tables of contents, and especially if you've got a document that's more than like a page or two, they can be kind of a bear to scroll through and find what you're looking for. So I think the table of contents is super helpful. And you can see it's just right there. So I can click this and be taken to that part of my document, and it's super fast. So to do a table of contents, you have to use headers, because the headers that you assign to your document, it automatically pulls those in, and that's how it creates the table of contents. So let's say that this was normal text. And this, before we start, I want that included in my table of contents. All you have to do is go through and highlight, And then up here where it would say normal text, that drop down is where you would then choose the headings. The table of contents will not pull in the title or the subtitle type of text. So it'll just pull in these headings. And you can, mine looks different because you can actually update. So this little arrow to the right of any of these text types, if you would click it, you could say update heading 1 to match. So that's what I did, is I went and changed that font and color of that heading, and then I went and said update heading 1 to match. So now every time I apply heading 1 in this document, it will be that text, that color, not whatever the default is. So that's how you can update that to make it, I like to put a color for the different headers just because I think it makes them stand out a little bit more if you are scrolling through. And then let's say that this please pick a row, that's going to be heading 2, just so you can see what it looks like when it puts things as a subcategory. So I'll just make that heading 2 just for this sake really quick. So then if you want to delete, or sorry, insert your table of contents, it doesn't put this title, table of contents here. You have to type that yourself. So I always type that and then below it, insert the table of contents. So I typed out my table of contents, click right below it, and then you just go up to insert. And we've already got all of our headings applied in the document. It's at the very bottom, table of contents. And there you go, it inserts your stuff. Yeah. Yes, yeah, most people don't know that exists, and it's super nice, especially the more and more we go digital and, you know, larger documents are on here. Scrolling through them can kind of be a pain, so that makes it super handy to click around and find your way around. And then, so as you, like before we start, that was heading 1. Right below it, you can see I applied heading 2, so you can see how it kind of indents it, just like it would in a normal table of contents. But oops, I didn't mean to do that. I want that to be normal text, so I just update my heading. And then when you click on or in the table of contents, you see this little refresh button in the top right. Click, boom, it updates it. So any changes that you would make to headings after you initially insert it, you'll need to go do that quick update, and then you're good. So that's all there is to headings and table of contents. On that same note, if you look right next to where I typed table of contents, I have this little bookmark icon. And then down here in my footer, I add this little back to the table of contents. So this little bookmark link it's called a bookmark. And then down in my footer, that's just a hyperlink, and I linked it to that bookmark. You can also link directly to a heading. So you could just say like back to top of page and link it. So I'll show you how you do that. It's just as easy. So I will remove this quickly, this bookmark, so I can insert it again. So you just click where you want and then up to insert. And then it's the second from the bottom, you choose bookmark. And then no matter where you are in this document, it will, I'll show you when we go to link it, it will remember where that is. So then if you want it to do something like this back to the table of contents, you would just have to insert and then footer. Or if it wasn't in a footer or a header, you could do it anywhere in your document. And you highlight it. And you can either go up to insert hyperlink, you can click this link icon, or a keyboard shortcut, and more than just Google programs, is Control K will let you quickly add a hyperlink. So same way, if this was a website link, that right there would be where I would paste my website. But for this purpose, we want to actually link it to a bookmark in our document. So that bookmark I added at the table of contents, if I click that arrow to the left to expand, then it would give me a list of all of my bookmarks that I had there. Same with headings. If it was just a heading, if you didn't apply a bookmark, this shows me all of the headings that I have in my document. And then you just click and apply. They do. The URLs will save, the links will save like out to a URL on a website. I believe the table of contents and headers work. I would have to double check that to see if that does work. Because with bookmarks in the document, that tends to work a little bit different. It should save it correctly. But you could also do, like if you wanted to make sure, are you trying to save it as a PDF to make sure that the kids don't edit?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you could just do a view only. And then like if you'll notice in this header, I made a little note about how to make a copy. So you could always just do that, just share it with view only rights. So and then they have to file make a copy.
If it's on view only, can they still chat at the bottom? Like, can they open up a message?
No, they can't chat if it's view only. So yeah, so they could do that, or an even faster way to do it. It forces them to make a copy. It actually won't even open them up to this document. If you hit the share button, and then this link, it has to be this link. It cannot just be the URL that you have while you're on the document. You have to hit the blue share button and then be taken here. And then if you done. Yeah, so then if you look at it, if you highlight at the very end, sharing to edit, the E in edit all the way through to sharing, and just change that to copy so that the end reads /copy instead of /edit, ? Whatever. So then if you would take that link, and this would be then the link that you could paste in Schoology, or, you know, email or whatever you were going to do. And then this is what happens when they go to it. They'll get this screen. They won't even go straight to your document. It will force them to actually click make a copy, and it will save a copy to their drive. So after you click blue share button, then copy, Control-C. Okay, so now you see that we're at the very end where it says edit. Highlight everything from the E in edit and to the end, and then type copy. Yeah, you're welcome. And then you paste that as a link in Schoology, and then when they click it, they'll be taken to this screen up here, and they have to hit make a copy. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. That, bookmarks, links, headers, table of contents. Okay, last thing that I wanted to show, because this is, you know, what can help is using tables and different things that you can do with tables, because there are and on this document, there are more resources, like in creating a hyperdoc, which I knew we wouldn't have time to get into it today, but I put it there just so, you know, if all of these things kind of intrigue you, you can go on to see, you know, how you can kind of use Google Docs to make this collaborative, interactive, multimedia lesson all in one spot. But a lot of the suggestions in the hyperdocs use tables, and each student gets their own row, kind of like we did with my little KWL chart here. And then what gets, you know, so I guess first of all, let me backtrack how to insert a table. So you would just click in your document, and then you go up to insert, and then table, and then you select your initial table. Once you do this, I'll show you how to insert a new row or column. You're not like married to whatever you choose right here. So there's your, so there's our table. Once you're inside of a table, you can use like bulleted lists. So you could use bullets or anything to just make it look nicer. If you wanted to, sometimes since Google Docs doesn't have columns, you could use tables. It would just be one row, 2 columns. And then if you didn't want this black outline, all you have to do then is come up here to border color, and select white, and then you don't see it anymore. So then here, I could put my, list items, and I always change the line color last, just so I can see where I'm clicking in here. But that's an easy way to use tables to make it look like you're using columns in Google Docs too. So there's that, and then let me change it back. If you wanted to insert another row or something, you just right click. If the kids are on the Chromebook, it's 2 fingers, like a peace sign at the same time. And then insert row above, insert column left, right, below, whatever it might be. And so they could just keep adding their own row. And then last thing, what I wanted to have us do, and if you still have this document up, I'm going to have you do it to your row. So you just want to highlight all of the cells in your row, just dragging and dropping. Oh, no, you're fine. Do you need me to give you the link for it? Okay. There we go. And then you're going to right click and go down to table properties. And then where it says cell background color, I am going to have, you can choose whatever color you want. But it's just going to change that cell color for us. And then just to point out a couple things why we're in here. The cell vertical alignment. So do you want it at the very top of the cell, in the middle, or at the bottom? And then table alignment. And you can kind of adjust and play with this, but the biggest thing is the cell background color. And then you hit OK. And then if you come out and click off of the table, you'll see it. And there now every student's row is in their own color. So that's just kind of a nice way to identify this is your row, this color, and so on and so forth. And so that's tables, pretty much, the short and sweet, to use with tables. Do you have any other questions within Google Docs? Those were just kind of some of the big things that people don't know that you can do that I wanted to highlight.
How do I just use the one thing?
Yes.
Much better.
Good. Anything else at all that I can help you with? Oops. Deleting the columns. Okay. Well, you know how to reach me if you need anything.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for coming.
And then this happens.